some interesting things. Not totally dry yet, but it's getting there. This is bled down nicely, and it's kind of bled into this character's head, which is unusual and unpredictable. This is all quite nice here, but it's still about damp. But I'm going to crack on with this because I can get on with some pieces here. Now, the thing to think about is where you want the eye to go. If we want the eye to go to this character, we can come in with some of this darker neutral tint. We'll bring in the character next to him or her, I'm not sure yet. Quite a bit of movement in here. That's definitely a her now, isn't it? Let's just change the angle of that slightly. I haven't got any source material in front of me at this point. This has just all come out of my head, so quite dry. Where we can suggest some legs. Quite dry on that one. It's quite nice to have some gaps in between. Using the same brush. A little trick to take the eye, will go really red here. It would be red if I just didn't mess that colour up. If I keep these quite light and neutral in their tints, but warm. It's a bit of a contradiction, that neutral but warm. Now, bizarrely, I love the way sometimes things just happen. And this kind of looks like this character here has got a cycle or moving a cycle. You can kind of see. I'm just going to keep these sort of silhouetted, really. See wheels, kind of, almost painting themselves. I'll give them a bit of a hand. There we go. It looks like a guy on a push bike. Remember we said about putting the three characters together. Just to define those heads a bit more. There's a lot of hair on this one. Go back in for some umber. Just sort of sculpt around this wheel. There's someone walking down here. They're kind of joined together, which is quite nice. It's good to have characters joined up. This kind of looks a bit like a older person sort of hanging on to this guy here. Let's go for some blue for this bag. Let's paint in blue. Popping an arm looks a bit more realistic. Touch of a shadow under here. Now, thinking about shadows, we'll just clear that mixture up a bit. It's kind of a bit polluting. Whoops. Thinking about shadows, my sort of stock standard shadow colour that I love is alizarin crimson and ultramarine generally. It can also be cobalt, depends what you want. It's incredibly powerful, incredibly strong. Let's just dot some in off of those shadows there and you'll see what I mean. It's I'm just going to concentrate a second here. I'm just thinking about the actual road itself. Now these are incredibly long shadows, suggesting that it's late in the evening. We'll sort of blur some of them off because that happens. There we go, we'll run them up the legs a touch. We'll take this strange cycle one here and just pop in a few here. I don't need these to be as strong because I don't really want the eye to compete and go over here straight away. I want it to go here first and then come over here. So we've got a bit of counter change on this. And then we'll run some of these other shadows down. Going for a thinner brush as we go back. Otherwise it won't quite look right. It's just, whoops, that's too thick, way too thick. Let's take that out quickly. There we go. And just suggest shadows going off onto this road. Could be a pedestrianisation zone, couldn't it? I'm not sure. But lots of light. Dark shadows will always create lots of light in your paintings. Trying to keep all of these to like 10 minutes. I'm just going to darken this character up here. We said red, which would kind of mess that red up really bad. There we go, that's better. Almost like a red dress. Flowing there. Cool. Right. Final little thing is to pop in some very, very light sort of grayer type mixtures back here. Just really not defined at all. They're just silhouettes. Because this is not anything in terms of the composition that we want the eye to go to. They're just sort of very secondary figures in this. And even the pencil work could be left because it's kind of suggesting, but I'll just keep it nice and light. There we are. Yes. So, final little figure here, and this is kind of painting itself the way the paint's coming down. I'm going to take some of this out because it's quite a strong mix up here. Create a bit of texture, and the same there. Just to dull those down a bit because I still want the eye to go here first. Otherwise we have competition. I know the eye will go here, but because of the strongest shadows it will definitely go here first in that little group of figures. Finally is to get this figure here. I'm going to keep them quite blurred and quite warm and quite sort of dry brush. So we go back into this dry kind of umber mix. This figure is much more to the foreground, but we'll keep him blurred. Why? Because then he doesn't take over from these. By keeping that, you'll find that will work. Just taking a couple of bits there. Okay, there we go. I will come back one final time to this in another part just to finish off once I've had time to to look at this and see where I want to make improvements. But as it is, it would stand okay as a painting. But always going back sometimes can be a good thing, can be a bad thing. You can fiddle too much and you've kind of got to just go, right, that's enough. I've had enough now. I see me fiddling already. I'm going to... So, finally, I'm just going to take some water, not much, and just blur out some of the edges here, just so we definitely don't go into this character. Seems quite large, I guess, in comparison, but I still think it works okay. The head particularly bugs me and concerns me, so I'll show you how you can deal with that and also add more interest to things like heads and shoulders. So, a couple of solutions, or there are many solutions, but my preferred solution is to take some Naples yellow and some gouache or Chinese white and use the thinnest brush, the finer brush. Let's make sure it's nice and clean first. And then you want it straight out of the tube. So let's just try this Chinese white, squeeze some up. Take some off there. And just pop it around the highlights. And we can make this head a little bit smaller because it was dominating a bit too much. I think that's better. So a little correction in there. Just dab some on the shoulders if we want. Not much. And similar to other shoulder highlights. And to tops of heads. Can always look quite good. If you want to add a touch of light coming down in here, for example, we can. It's always good to be quite restrained, not just pop everywhere. We'll just try over here. It's quite a large head, isn't it? I just saw that out a second. And this one was a bit odd because of the liquid that had run through it. And we could just be here all day doing this, but that will do. And then, final little thing, we can also come in with some of the, let's just clean this off, this brush off, take the white off of it, the tissue, and we can come into some of this Naples yellow, which is quite nice and neat on its own for this same effect. And as we've kind of got a lot of yellow in this painting, we could just touch in a few touches here and there, not much, to create some variation and blend it into the white that we already have. That'll do. I'm not going to go too mad with it. There we go. So, final thing to do is the unveiling. This is the piece I like. Take off the tape, and you can see what you've created. There we go. It's a nice sharp edge to your creation, to your painting, and there it is. I hope you enjoyed this series of lessons on how to create some figures, perspective, buildings in an impressionistic style. Take care now. Remember to subscribe and see you again soon for some more content.